There's no smoking on airplanes.
I know. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
If you like that, I'll have to report you to the FAA.
Stacy, did you know that in 1969, when smoking was allowed on all flights, we put a man on the moon?
I had no idea.
And it starts with ashtrays, and it ends with all of our precious freedoms being stripped away. But we don't have to take it. Like Rosa Parks and David Lee Roth when he left Van Halen, we can say enough injustice. We can smoke one for America!
Who are you?
I'm done ready. And I got the goods.
Who is Don Reddy? He's somebody who's ready for you to believe that that's his real hair on top of his head.
Really? That's where we're going with that?
Oh, man. I got to say, every time I see the trailers for this movie, I'm like, man, another raccoon had to die to make Jeremy Piven feel better about himself.
When I first saw the title, I thought it was Die Hard 5. It's like, live hard, sell hard,
I know,
die hard.
Hey, coffee's for closers.
Yeah, no, this movie does star Jeremy Piven, who we haven't really seen in a... Has he ever been in a role where he's the lead guy in a movie?
In a film?
In a film,
Not that I can think of.
Oh, I guess he wasn't the lead in... what was that shitty movie?
He's been in movies where there was an ensemble of people who kind of had equal screen time, but this is I don't know. I think this is the first movie he's had to lead in.
No. There was that movie where he played Ari Gold, because he usually does, where he was having the bar mitzvah. His son was.
I don't remember that.
Oh, that movie. Yeah.
Well, but he wasn't even really the star of that, was he?
Yeah,
he
was.
just in it.
No. He was the star.
Was he?
Well,
God,
either way,
I
this would
forgot
be
about
the first memorable film that he plays the lead role in.
Oh yeah, I guess we did go through a lot of what was that?
Yeah, we can, and that's only because we saw it yesterday.
And the thing is, like,
Smoking Aces. That's what I was trying to
No,
think
he wasn't the star.
No,
of
he
that.
was not
He was the guy everyone was trying to
after
kill.
watching like years of Entourage, where at this point, really the only reason I still occasionally watch it is for his portrayal of Ari Gold. We've been saying for a while now, hey, where's the right part for this guy? I mean, he's a hell of an actor. I mean, he's got force coming off of him. And this was just exactly the right role I think.
Yeah. No, Jeremy Piven is always someone I've liked. No matter what movie he's been in, no matter how bad the movie is, I've always said Jeremy Piven is somebody that's the character I appeal to. Not only I appeal to, but or who appeals to me, but I want to be that guy.
Now, that said, there are movies, there are comedies where you can say this is like this comedy, this is like that comedy. This comedy isn't that comedy. This is so its own different thing. I don't want to use the word original because the film doesn't feel really original, but it's not like anything that you're prepared to see or that you've really seen anytime recently in film. It's a very odd kind of comedy with very weird sensibilities.
Yeah, it takes from several different places, some of them recognizable. I think the concept of having a very strong, snarky main character like Piven it feels a lot like the early Murray roles in the 70s. But the rest of the film really doesn't. It's absurdist.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say, I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, it's Used Cars meets Glengarry Glen Ross.
No, it's so bizarre, this film, and it takes you by surprise. Not every joke works, but most of them actually do, at least somewhat, and some of them damn near knock you flat.
Yeah, you're talking about the plot of those movies, but the thing is Used Cars and Glengarry Glen Ross, you're involved in the characters and you're involved in the story, and this movie doesn't care about its characters or its story. No. It's all about telling jokes, and the thing is it works because it's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's...
Korey, what's this movie about?
Well, I'm glad you asked. No, as we mentioned, Jeremy Piven plays a guy named Don Reddy, and at the beginning of the movie, it opens up with this car lot, and Jeremy Piven's not in this scene yet, but it's a car lot with all these car dealers around. They're not selling cars. They're sitting around doing nothing. One guy is a Vietnam vet who's losing his fucking mind on a customer. So the owner comes up and says, obviously we're not moving cars. We need to call mercenaries. And everybody's like, oh, you sure you want to do that? And it turns out that you're just calling a crack team of bullshitters. People who can talk so smooth, walk so smooth that you will buy anything from them.
Now, this actually exists. What they're making fun of here, they're called slashers. These are guys that you call in to come and have a huge sale at your lot on a weekend. And they come in and they prep your team up. They get the place ready to sell and they have a huge, big, just media blitz sale. And there's guys that do this for a living. And that's what they're kind of having fun with here. These guys are these professional slashers.
Yeah, and these are parodies of that. They're kind of like, you ever hear someone said somebody has a personality of a used car salesman? Well, these are like the archons of the personalities of a used car salesman. Someone who literally personifies it, but in a sense that they have magic powers almost. They're so good at doing it and moving cars.
And they're just like a team of mercenaries who are militaries.
Look at them. They're like crazy boat people. I love it.
Sell the metal. Sell the metal. Sell the metal. Sell the metal. Sell the metal.
Welcome to Selleck Motors. Let's get you in a car.
Because they all are specialists in something. You have the guy who's the accountant who's a specialist at crunching numbers, and then you have the woman who sells her stuff through sex, and then you have the guy who's just really, really smooth and kind of intimidating sometimes.
But unlike a lot of other films like this, they don't rely on those archetypes either. They it's kind of just more about the jokes than it is about one-note jokey characters. I mean, the movie goes wherever it needs to for the joke, and that's good in this case.
Yeah, well, the deal with this movie is it's kind of like a Will Ferrell comedy, except instead of sports, we have cars.
And instead of a man-child, you have somebody who's really good at what he does.
Yeah, you have a hustler. And what this movie, let's just say it right now. People are going to hate this film. This movie's not going to get good ratings. It's not going to get good reviews. It is a movie that asks you you have to accept its silliness. You have to embrace its silliness because that's what it is. Yeah, Will Ferrell comedies are silly. But because we don't have that main character of a man-child to kind of sell us on that point, this movie, and as you say, it's absurd. They're just things that just happen out of nowhere. And either you will find that funny because it did just happen out of nowhere.
Or you'll hate it.
You'll hate it because you'll be sitting there saying, that went nowhere. This isn't good filmmaking. This isn't a story. And I'm going to tell you, I am a silly person. I will knock many a bad movie for being stupid. But this is one of those films where, yeah, I like it that some of these things didn't go anywhere and they just came out of nowhere. It made me laugh hard. It just appeals to me. What can I tell you? It is my personality.
It's almost it's almost impossible to quantify specifically why this one is that funny to us and why other ones that you might say are similar aren't. But it does work. It always feels like it's firing on all cylinders. It's just different enough from comedies like this that it ends up being really hysterically funny because it takes you by surprise, whereas those comedies don't anymore.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, it's sort of y'all's job to be able to tell us why this one you're giving a free pass.
No, we're telling you why. It really is a movie that appeals to your personality. If you are a person who loves silly stuff, then you'll probably like this. If you're somebody who doesn't, or if you see this as a Will Ferrell comedy that went wrongly awry, then you're not going to like it.
I don't even like the use of the word silly because silly doesn't quite nail what this is. It really is. I would liken it to an absurdist play, something like The Zoo Story or Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, if it had a point. But it doesn't even have a point. It's just absurdity for the sake of being absurd.
Well, it's a little more like Dadaism, really.
The closest thing I can actually compare it to is the Wet Hot American Summer, except that it never goes as far with tweaking reality as Wet Hot American Summer does. It's just that kind of let's throw it at the wall and see if it sticks kind of movie, except that most of it sticks. It's really hard to quantify. Yeah. It's a very strange film.
Those running jokes in it tend to work really well too. Not all of them. I thought the DJ thing was a little overplayed. I forget the name of the actor.
Who's that actor? He's the black guy that Judd Apatow always hires to be in his movies.
Craig Robinson.
Yeah, Craig Robinson. Yeah,
he's the new Anthony Anderson.
Well, it's like a joke.
Yes, he is.
He's a joke that starts off looking like it's going to pay off and it never really does. It's like, well, okay, that was kind of lame.
He's a DJ that goes into a trance every now and then. If somebody says, hey man, why don't you play this? This is more appropriate. He just goes into a trance like, never let them tell you what to do. They will crawl all over you and walk all over you if they tell you.
His name is DJ Request and he never ever grants requests.
He never, and it's a funny joke at first, but then you expect him to pay off and you don't get it. And that's the problem with the movie is that there are so many absurd things that happen that some of them just don't go anywhere and some of them are just plain bad.
And some of them are just there just to be funny. They're not building towards anything, but they are funny. Like the female who comes in. I forget the character and actress's name.
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, she comes in and
Babs Merrick.
Yeah, and she falls for the car dealer's son,
10-year-old son,
who is 10 years old with a pituitary gland problem.
He's
got that Jack syndrome.
He's the big guy in The Hangover. He's like, in the face.
Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle.
Yeah, and she wants to have sex with him no matter what. And there's a whole running joke where she keeps trying to seduce this guy who does have the brain of a 10-year-old.
With things like ice cream.
Yeah, with things like ice cream.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
She sits down and she's like, hey, you want some of this? And he's like, what is that? And she's like, this is special juice. And it's alcohol.
Really good juice. Another whiskey sour.
And people are like saying, either people are saying, he's fucking 10 years old, or the bar's closing right when she's about to close on the deal. She's like, fuck, will you just leave me alone?
Why don't you come around back by the dumpster and let me give you a present? Oh, is it a catcher's mitt? It'll fit like a catcher's mitt. Oh, good. I can hardly wait to oil it up and put my fist into it and try it.
See,
check, please.
Things that guys would get arrested for, but in this sexist society, a woman can get away with it. I don't know what to say.
The thing is that the film is just
our day will come.
It's over the top. It's really absurd, but it works, and this film, I've been trying to wrap my mind around it for the last day, and I can't.
You know what?
I think what's absurd is that y'all are fucking with me. There's no way all this is true.
Yeah, this is a whole elaborate joke.
There.
Yeah, and I've heard like this movie was so horrible.
Man,
where did you hear this?
I heard that like they didn't want to put in South by Southwest. It was so bad.
Somebody just honestly didn't get the joke, and I understand. I really understand why some people are going to find this not funny at all. Personally, I thought it was funny as shit. Yeah. I laughed all the way through this movie. I don't even know what to say. I can't defend it, but damn, it was funny anyway.
That's what we're saying. Look, you might come back and say, hey, y'all, you know what? Y'all are full of shit. This movie sucked. And we'll be like, hey, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Every fucking news.
But let me ask you something. Honestly, when was the last time all three of us agreed on how funny something it was?
Yeah, that's true.
And it wasn't funny.
Forgetting All Marshall.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Other than forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Now, granted, at the end of the movie, they did tell us that the theater had a gas leak and that we were all close to being poisoned. But,
Is that what that was?
But nevertheless, I had a good time.
We had to sprinkle cocaine on the popcorn.
No, what's absurd is that you think we were gone for like 15 minutes just to fool you. No, man, we thought it was
can't
funny.
hold that shit for longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah,
you know that.
And you know it'd be something up there. Yeah, man, it was nah, we just get this bullshit. No, man,
we only do that to Carlyle anyway.
And he's in there the whole time. It's not funny, y'all.
I know you guys had to like it. It's fucking Star Trek.
No,
fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's the last time we did that.
Yes, it was.
You know what this reminded me of? Now, you mentioned that this was kind of like a Bill Murray comedy from the 70s, 80s. I thought about that, and it reminded me of a Cheech and Chong film where it's just crazy shit just keeps happening to Cheech and Chong.
Okay.
And you don't ask why. You just know that you're laughing the whole time.
Okay.
Every
I can buy that.
Every newspaper in the fucking land can say this is the worst movie of the year. I'm going to tell you, I laughed, goddammit.
But all its sources feel older, is the thing. I'm saying, like, yeah, I think it took from a lot of different stuff in the 70s, including the movie Used Cars, which, you can't help but make a certain amount of comparison.
You never saw Used Cars?
No. Never saw that,
dude.
Yeah,
you got to see that.
I got Netflix now, so
okay. Yeah, the movie was what 1979 or 1980, and it's still just as funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if this movie is the caliber of that movie today. I don't know if I can compare it to that, but
it's pretty different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
but it gets some stuff from it. Like I said, it gets some stuff from a lot of places, but all of it's refreshing because it feels like the stuff I liked when I was a kid.
This is a movie that's tailor-made for people like us. And they didn't really make it for people like us. They just put some shit together and threw it out there, and we just happened to catch it. We're like, okay. And so for that, I give it a matinee. Yes, I'm crazy. I'm stupid. I don't know movies. I shouldn't be reviewing films. Whatever. Fuck you. I laughed.
Whoa. Slow down there.
I know.
You're getting really wound up about criticism you ain't fucking got yet.
He's preempting the commenters.
I am.
The site. He'll be like, you guys are crazy. That movie sucked.
I know.
Yeah. I came around the table and took it out on Carlyle. Fuck you. I like this movie. I'm like, hey, man. Hey.
I like it too. What the hell? This is for Leon when you end up hating it. You guys are crazy.
well, damn. So that means if I don't like it, I can't say nothing or I got to get yelled at.
Don't you say shit.
I get yelled at retroactively.
You shut your mouth. You keep it to yourself right now.
In the theater watching, going like, oh, that went nowhere. And then your head will pop up going, fuck you. That movie was good. Ralph, okay, fine. It was a good joke.
My safe word is blueberry pancakes.
Yeah.
Oh, Ving Rhames. We forgot all about Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames was awesome in that.
Yes, he was.
As what's his name? Jibby Newsom or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. But he was like, the guy's like, I'm a virgin or not? I'm a virgin. I've never made love to a woman.
Yeah. See,
it's like, you're a virgin? It's like, no, I've made love with I've had sex with thousands of women, but I never made love.
Did you
to
guys
a woman.
recognize the woman that he was hitting on the whole movie?
No.
I did, but I couldn't figure out where I was.
She was the secretary from Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
Oh, okay.
I told y'all the girl was hot.
Oh, the Indian
Yes.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's way hot.
She's way
Yeah.
hot.
And
She's
running
a
around-
stripper in this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit, Negro. That's all you got to say.
There's so many bits that work, including stuff with her. Her running joke with Ving Rhames is really funny. This is, you know what? I like this better than a matinee. I like this a high matinee. I was playing with full price, but I want to see this again before I could even say that. Because it might be one of those, like, you know what? My initial reaction was just shock at how fucking strange it was. But for now, we'll say it's a high matinee.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say matinee. There's a big problem with this film in that not only do certain things go nowhere and that certain jokes just fall completely flat and don't work, but it's one of those films where it's a template. I mean, you can see what's happening in the first 15 minutes. You know what the end of the movie is going to be for what little story they have there. And for some people, that will be a big problem, but that's not what the movie's about. This movie's just about being stupid and making you laugh, and it did that for me. So it's a matinee.
So you're going to do this twice then?
Yeah, you
already did it, remember?
You did it.
Did it?
Yeah.
You
rated it
remember the
twice.
motherfucker that you threw out at the end? I liked it. There, I liked it. Matinee, fuck.
Oh no, I was just getting all my aggression out. You know,
But you did. You rated it, and then Cyrus rated it.
It's a
you came
double
back.
matinee.
And I was like, wow.
I'm rating it twice for any of you motherfuckers that have anything to say to me, so you know where I'm coming from. Fuck y'all, matinee.
But what does Carlyle think?
It's a solid matinee. It's an absolute solid matinee. I cannot guarantee whether or not people will like it because it is just such a weird fucking movie, but it's funny as shit. It really made me laugh. We didn't even mention Will Ferrell shows up in this. This is the funniest Will Ferrell's been in a decade.
He's always better in cameos anyway.
And
so.
this is one of the best cameos he's done. Every time he's on the screen in this movie, it's laugh out loud funny. It's just really great. I think it's a good funny movie. If you're looking for something to check out on the weekend, this isn't the worst thing you could see. I really had fun with it.
Yeah, so there you go.
There you go, Leon. Suck on that.
Shit. What do you mean? So, we said strippers. Leon's going to be there. He's going to be in front of the screen with dollars in his hands. Like, come on, girl. Sit down. Fuck y'all. This movie's great.
These people are excited about the savings.
The goods live hard to sell hard.